Alright, today we'll be reviewing the U.S.S. Shenzhou on the definitive Eaglemoss review without access to a proper table. And hang on a minute, this isn't the Shenzhou. One moment, just let me, let's see and put it back. There we go. Oh yeah, this is clearly the Shenzhou. My mistake. Alright, I've decided to change the angle because this works better. But today we're going to be reviewing Eaglemoss's three Shenzhou variants. The U.S.S. Shenzhou, the I.S.S. Shenzhou, and the XL Shenzhou. I'm mostly going to be focusing on the standard issue 1 right now because the ISS and the U.S.S. Shenzhou are exactly the same model, just with different decals, which makes sense because the ISS Shenzhou was a free $0 gift. And when you consider this is the first issue of the Discovery Collection, or at least it should be, you're paying like $9 for this, so this is a great deal right now. The U.S.S. Shenzhou is rather conveniently exactly the same size as the Columbia-class refit of the Enterprise. So if you want... Get out of the way. If you want a... sorry, that right there was an accurate representation of this franchise after Enterprise that people did want. If you want your size comparison, this is a very great one. It's basically the Columbia-class refit of the NX. And for something a bit more relevant, its nacelle is about the same as the Discovery's, but of course it is a bit shorter. Here's tip to tip, it only comes up to there, because the Discovery is a long ship. Not like a long ship, is in like a sailing ship, but it's a rather long vessel. Anyway, this is quite a good model of the Shenzhou. It's mostly plastic. I think this... I always forget to talk about that. I think this saucer is metal. Other than that, it is a very light ship, and it does feel rather plasticky. But you've got all your stripes and detailing seems to be correct. You've got a little bit of greeblies in here. Your shuttle bay is there. Not a whole lot of detail on there, but it's probably about all there is in the show. Pink impulse... Pink impulse engines, which is what the Shenzhou has. The Shenzhou does have that nice little gap between the nacelle pylons, but you can see it's kind of ruined a bit by these little support struts the actual model has. The Enterprise F has something similar. It's only really a problem if you look at it straight on like that. It's a little less noticeable there, but actually it's more noticeable in person than on camera. But otherwise it's alright, just a bit of a shame that's there. Your bridge is there, full on with its window. You've got some nice detailing down here with whatever that would be. Your windows are all there, and that little stepping pattern is done very nicely with each deck. And finally, your nacelles. Nothing too special here. It looks like there's a bit of a red transparent thing to catch light, to get that glowing effect as Eaglemoss usually does, but it's so small that, you can't really notice it. And then for the ISS Shenzhou, oh, well, you can stay there. Okay, no. This stand isn't great, actually. I don't know why. It's usually a bit crooked for me. As you can see, that's lopsided quite a bit to the right. If you were to look at it head-on, it's tilted. I can't really get this stand to work, and I don't know why, because the ISS works very well. It's a working stand. A quick look at the ISS Shenzhou, then, focus. You've got your Discovery Terran Universe logo there, taking things very literally with your Mirror Earth. It says ISS Discovery everywhere it should on the... Well, basically everywhere the other one said U.S.S. It says ISS there. In fact, yeah, this one does say U.S.S. right up by the shuttle bay. You've got the Terran Empire logo there, and it still says U.S.S. Shenzhou, Terran Empire on the nacelles. Remember that one. Oh, and I've just seen on the bottom, it actually says U.S.S. Shenzhou. Here, let's get that on the right way up. U.S.S. Shenzhou on the roll bar. I did not notice that before. And I guess you'd never really look at the bottom, but for like $50 if you're actually buying this properly from the store, that's a pretty big oversight. Not the biggest oversight you're going to see in this video. That one is also U.S.S. Speaking of big oversights in this video, you've got the XL Shenzhou now, which is overall a really great model. Yeah, we'll get to that. First, I'd like to point out this was actually the first proper model that came broken for me. I'll actually show a picture on screen now, but one of the bottom bits, the plastic had popped off. I just glued it back onto the nacelle. I can't actually tell which one it is. I think it was this one. But yeah, it was a real easy fix. It just, a bit of glue and good as new. So not a big deal, but I've had a few with real tiny parts break. The solar sail, Bajoran solar sail, of course. The Tunkatsi Arena, and what was the other one? The Malon export vessel all had a few broken pieces, but they were small. They're, like, usually broken. This was the first big one that had a broken bit, so I thought I'd bring that up. You can see it's quite a substantial size improvement on the original, just bringing it back and forth here. You do get quite a lot of length, but not so much in the way of width, I suppose. I mean, you can park the nacelles between, right here, so it's quite a bit. But of course, the way 3D space scales, you do get a lot more detail. Here it is next to the standard size U.S.S. Discovery. It's actually a bit longer, right there, lining up tip to tip. Yeah, it is actually a bit longer on the ends. I don't have the XL Discovery, so this is the standard size. And again, dealing with big models, it is actually about the same size as the Enterprise C. I'm actually going to see if I can get a picture of that. I'll overlay right now. Because it is a really good size approximation, and I just can't show both of these off on camera at the same time. Yeah, detailing. The XL Shenzhou has Aztecing, which the first one did not. Yeah, the smaller scales don't have any Aztecing, but you can see this one has proper Aztecing. It still has all the beautiful red detailing and the stripes in the right place. More detail on the deflector dish. The actual dish has got some bluey, purpley bits around it. The blue bits inside here are also on the smaller models, you just can't see it, but the actual dish now has got blue bits. Still got the same detailing. I assume this is where the weapons come out, or a sensor array. I don't actually know. You've got a lot more detail from the rear. There's darker bits in here, which the classic one did not have. And of course it's larger, so, oh yeah, you've got little warning paint here. That one didn't, the old version didn't have it. You've got red, proper glass impulse engines here. Oh, and also the weight of the whole ship is better. I think it is still largely plastic. That top bit feels metal. It's hard to say. I'm not always the best, especially after I've been holding models. But there's more metal, and this does have a more weight to it. Still on the light end of ships, I think, but it's not enough to complain about. This model also has the problem of the little support pylons in the middle there. That the ship doesn't have that. The model actually has these supporting things. So, no real difference from the small one there. And you can see a lot better. It's more prominent from the front just because it's a larger physical space. You also have a lot more detailing in this bit. Before, where it was, not as clear, it is just more textile. You can feel it, you can see it better just because it is a larger ship. And yes, we'll talk about first the nacelles. You could see in that broken picture, but the little glowy bit here, I don't believe it's actually transparent in this. No, it is solid. Is much more prominent for the little nacelle glow effect they have. But yes, we will now talk about this, because they printed the U.S.S. Shenzhou XL with the I.S.S. Shenzhou's nacelles. And I have no idea how this happened. When they released the promo art of this, I don't know how early they actually go into print, but it was a few months early, I want to say. Like, it was instantly people noticed with, like, this small picture, hey, that's the I.S.S. Shenzhou's nacelles, and it is very noticeable. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And still, everybody's came with the I.S.S. Shenzhou nacelles, and I don't understand how that happens. Like, Ben Robinson, the guy who sort of heads these Eaglemoss things, I know he should have the Star Trek knowledge to kind of spot that, and I just don't understand how that gets through so many stages of development without anyone noticing it. And it's a big thing to the accuracy, the continuity for $75. Like, that is quite a big mistake. At the same time, though, for $55 for either the ISS Shenzhou or the classic Shenzhou, 20 more dollars for just the better detail everywhere else for the problems in the nacelles could very well be worth it. I've actually put away my classic Shenzhou because this one I think just does it better. I put this in storage for space reasons. Not like Star Trek space reasons, it's just these models take up a lot of space and I live in my parents' basement. And the ISS Shenzhou I'm probably going to put away soon to make room for the Universe collection. But yeah, it's not necessarily a deal breaker in nacelles, just because the Discovery models are relatively close in price anyway to the XL models. I don't think you should buy the ISS Shenzhou if you have the default, and especially if you have both of these, because for $56 it's probably not worth it. What I'd really recommend is just subscribe to the Discovery collection for a year. That's how I got this one. Because it's the 12-month subscribers gift, they still give it out. And you get all the previous 12 months, which is up to the Enterprise, for like 40-something? Let me check. Yeah, for $46.90, you'll get the first 12 ships, or rather, you'll get 12 ships. If they're out of stock, they'll send you a random one. I've got, like, issue 25 on my shelf for that reason. But the first 12 ships are actually quite nice, so what I'd really recommend is just subscribe to the Discovery collection, get this one on your second month for $46, get this one for free along with the Discovery Enterprise. You can cancel it if you want after that, or you could just keep going, that's what I've done. And then buy this guy, the big one, on the shop. I think it's out of stock right now, but on the US shop at least. But you can maybe wait for a sale. It's hard to get the XL ones to apply for a sale, but it's still, I think, very much worth getting. If you had to choose, I'd probably say buy the XL one, or rather if you wanted to choose, just because of the detailing and the Aztecing, and I think the extra detail this adds is probably worth. It's worth the $20 if it went for this. This probably brings the price down to maybe it's a bit more than you might want to pay. I'm pretty sure you can buy decals to fix these, and you can display it in a way where it's not really the most noticeable thing. I'd say this is probably a bit superior to this. It's a good amount superior to this. It'd be way more superior if it wasn't for the error there. This and this are basically equivalent, but for $54, there's not a whole much point in this, especially because it's a different scale to all the other ISS fleets, except the Charon, of course. So you can't, it just like dominate your area of ISS ships if that's how you display them like I want to. But yeah, definitely this is a great free model, or if you can get it on a big sale, maybe secondhand, then it could be worth it. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed. If there's a model you'd like to see me review or a comparison like this, just let me know. I have over half the models, and if you ask, I will do it if I have it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.